Hi, welcome back. Last week we talked about diversification, which was entering a new business. This week we're going to look at the opposite. We're going to talk about exiting from a business, and that is called divestiture. Now, several questions come to mind when we think about divestiture. First, how can we decide whether we should divest? Second, from which particular business should you divest? And thirdly, what options do you have available when you want to divest? That is, what modes of divestiture can you choose from? Now, we're going to look at these questions together this week, and I'm going to take you through a series of steps that you can use to make a divestiture decision in your company. Now, first, I'd like to begin with some examples of divestiture. Toshiba is a Japanese company active in many businesses, including in consumer electronics, such as television, but also in medical equipment, and you see one of their products here. Recently, however, it sold its medical business, Toshiba Medical, to another Japanese multi-business firm, Canon. Thus, Toshiba exited a business, and that business continued under the ownership of Canon. Here's the next example, eBay and PayPal. eBay is perhaps best known for its online marketplace where you can buy goods directly from other consumers. It used to have its own payment system, PayPal. You can use PayPal to pay on eBay, but also to pay on other websites. And you can also have a bank account with PayPal. Nowadays, you can still use PayPal on eBay, but eBay no longer owns PayPal. It has exited the payments business. This is the final example, Philips. Philips is a Dutch company that underwent a massive transformation in the last 2 decades, with Philips divesting several of its businesses. One of its oldest businesses is lighting. Even though it's one of the world's largest manufacturers of lighting, Philips has started divesting its lighting business. These are 3 examples of divestiture. The companies exited a business they were previously active in. Here's a general representation. A company is active in the footballs and footwear businesses. Then it decides to exit the footwear business. Here you can see that divestiture is the opposite of diversification. If you go from the situation on the left to the right, it's called divestiture. If you go from the situation on the right to the left, that is, you enter a new business, it's called diversification. You may have heard of something called outsourcing, which is another way to reduce the scope of the organization. Here's how outsourcing differs from divestiture. As before, a company is active in both the footballs and footwear business. Then it decides to outsource the manufacturing of footwear to another company. That is, someone else manufactures the footwear for the original company. The original company continues to design and sell footwear. It has not exited the business. Hence, this is not divestiture. Divestiture is when you exit the entire value chain. Outsourcing is when you exit only part of the value chain. We will look at divestiture, which is exiting from a business. Let's look at the different ways you can exit from a business.